Hey, it's Michael here from EduKits. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to use a PIR or Passive Infrared Motion Sensor in CodeKit. As part of this demo, we're going to be building a motion-activated alarm with an alarm sound and a flashing light. So let's jump into the parts you're going to need to follow along and how to wire them together. First, we will need our motion sensor, which uses infrared light to detect motion. Next, an active buzzer, which we will use to make the alarm sound later on. Then, an LED to flash along with the buzzer. And finally, a 10 kilo ohm resistor to limit the current through the LED. So, these are all the parts you're going to need. Let's take a look at how to wire them up if you're looking at following along with our motion-activated alarm. Start by connecting the motion sensor to ground and 5 volts on your board, and connect its output signal to pin number 8. For the buzzer, connect it to ground and its signal pin to pin number 10 on the board. And finally, connect the LED to ground and pin number 9 with the resistor in the middle there to make sure the current is limited and you don't blow out the LED. So now let's jump back into CodeKit, where I'll show you how you can read data from the motion sensor. To start with, I'm just going to create a simple program where we can print the raw data from the motion sensor directly to the serial port to give us a better idea of what's going on. And I think this is going to show us visually what happens when motion is detected. Let's go under the messaging section in CodeKit, start up the serial port. I'm going to set it to its fastest speed, and then all we need to do is just print a value, and I'm going to stick a little delay in there so we are not printing too many things all at once. I'm going to set this to 100 milliseconds, and then we just need to take the value, the raw value of the sensor, which is connected to pin number 8, and just print that. I'm going to upload this program, and once it's done, we can head over to the serial monitor tab. Okay, so you'll notice the data is streaming in immediately, and we can switch over to this graph view to get a more visual look at what's happening. Right now, it's just a value of 0, but when I stick my hand in front of it, you'll notice that it goes up to 1. And I'll move my hand back away, and it's down to 0. So you can see that the sensor reads 0 if there's no motion or 1 if there is motion. And we can use that fact in our programs. We basically check the state of the pin and can see if it's high or low. So let's head back to our project, and I'm going to delete the serial blocks here, but I'm going to keep this little state block. And I'm going to focus our attention now on making the beeping or the buzzing sound for the alarm that we're going to trigger with our motion sensor. So we need to grab some pin state blocks over here, one for the LED and one for the buzzer. We're going to turn both of those on, which is setting them to high, which will start the buzzing and turn the LED on. Then add a little bit of a delay, which I'm going to do for 3/4 of a second or 0.75 of a second. And then once those have been on for a little bit, we can turn them both off, which will stop the beeping and also turn the LED off. And finally, a last little delay. Now, this is going to be a really annoying sound when it comes out, so I just want it to repeat 3 times at the start and then shut off. Otherwise, our ears will fall off with the noise. So let's send that over, and you should hear a beeping. So that sound is annoying, and it's sure to alert you if there are intruders. Now I'm going to extract this beeping into a special block so that we can make our code a little bit easier to read later, and I'm going to just call this beep alarm. I will click save, and this block's been added. Then we can move all of our alarm logic into the beep alarm block. And under functions, you'll see now we have our own custom block we can use whenever we want to make a beeping sound. Now, we want to control this beeping only to activate only when there's motion detected. So we can go under the logic panel and grab an if block and put it under here. We then want our condition to be if the state of pin number 8, which is where our motion sensor is connected, if that's set to high, which means there's motion detected. If that condition is true, we want to simply beep the alarm. And finally, I'm going to add a short little delay after we've done that to let the state go back to normal, because it does take a little bit longer to reset. The final piece of the puzzle here is to add a little bit of a warm-up period, which this sensor needs. It needs around 15 to 30 seconds at the start, to let its value stabilize and be reliable. So I'm just going to add a short delay up here, 15 seconds, before we get onto our motion sensing. So the 15 seconds is up and it's time to test our invention. If I put my hand in front, you'll notice that there's a loud, obnoxious beeping sound and an LED flashing to go along with it. So that's how you can create a really simple project using a PIR motion sensor with CodeKit and an Arduino compatible board. All you need to do to use this motion sensor is just read the value of its state, and if it's high, that means you've got motion, and if it's low, that means you haven't. You can plug that into all sorts of conditions to create a plethora of really cool inventions in CodeKit. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you'd like to see others like it, don't forget to subscribe to our channel.